Unscripted.
It's pretty rare for a company to drop any kind of news about their new next-gen gaming console on a weekend, but Sony did just that. We've got a lot of confirmed things now. We've got a lot of different things that are actually coming out and being confirmed by Sony themselves, a lot of things that they're announcing for the first time, and I gotta say, that's something that makes me extremely happy going into this week, because I'm assuming that we're going to get much more news regarding the PlayStation 5 and probably the Xbox Series X as well. Maybe finally Microsoft will put to bed the whole, does the Xbox Series X actually play next-gen new games, because so far, believe it or not, we still, even though we're just literally about a month away from the launch of it, haven't seen a single new game running on the Xbox Series X, just old games. So people obviously want to see stuff there. Same thing with the PlayStation 5. There's obviously some things there that people want to see and that people want to know more about, because obviously these are anything but normal times, and so getting any kind of information seems to be like at a premium lately. But thankfully Sony did do some awesome things over the weekend. In fact, they were showcasing their console for the first time in person. Now we've seen some official screenshots and videos of the console itself. Oddly enough, this console doesn't look nearly as big as a lot of the pictures, quote-unquote, that we saw floating around the internet. So I think that they did a really good job with putting this thing together. It looks very futuristic. It looks very cool. It's something that, I don't know, it just looks like they put a lot of thought and effort into it, and I'm here for it. I really love it. I love the fact that it looks like they actually had a fun time designing something that looks futuristic, that looks future-proof, and they seem to have done a fantastic job with it, and that makes me extremely happy. I covered it a little bit yesterday. They're not having any kind of issues with the fans or overheating. Those are big concerns that people are having for some reason. Again, for some strange reason, this generation, or leading up to next generation, we've been seeing a lot of PlayStation FUD, and I'm not sure what the cause of it is. Maybe there's no cause for it technically, but there's always seems to be something. Usually the stuff that Microsoft would get saddled with has seemed to have been saddled on Sony leading up to next generation, which is a little bit weird because Sony's never had missteps the way that Microsoft has with the hardware. I mean, even with the PS3, yeah, that was a misstep in the pricing and stuff like that, but you can't really say that the tech was a misstep, because for what you were getting a console that was way worth more than what you were actually paying, even though it was an extremely high price to pay to begin with. But at the end of the day, Sony seems to always come back to the games. They show off the games. They know that that's what people care most about. But we did get some interesting facts that are now confirmed by Sony. So in addition to the PlayStation 5, the looks and stuff like that, in addition to it being quiet, to being the coolest playing PlayStation that they've ever made, the PS5 uses DualSense lights also to indicate which player number you are, and we've got some confirmation on that and new images of that as well. Obviously, thanks to a lot of the hands-on images impressions from the Japanese media, there's been quite a bit of PS5 news of late. The new images shown of the console hardware and the praise being given to the console's lack of fan noise. Awesome stuff. Things that everybody has been requesting. Though some of these previews, we also learned some interesting details about the DualSense controller. According to this, recently posted a bunch of images of the controller, and some of them indicate new details. And it seems like the DualSense is going to actually have lights below the touchpad that actually look really cool. I like the way that this looks, to tell you which player number you are if you're playing like local co-op or something. Meanwhile, the light strips around the touchpad can have various colors similar to the DualShock 4 light bar, though it doesn't seem like it's going to be as prominent here. It's not nearly as like in your face or as battery sucking, I would hope anyway. Interestingly enough, though, another new detail that emerged from these menus has also been confirmed by Sony's PR, which is 100% confirmed now, is that the DualSense will now accept the X button to confirm universally. That's always been the case in like the Western markets, but in the Japanese market, X has been to cancel while O has been to confirm ever since the PlayStation 1 era. So this would be something that is definitely a departure. And if you look at it, that's also why, like with the Nintendo, with their A, B button and stuff like that, or X and whatever Y button, are backwards to us, because that's normally how they do things over here. So it might take some getting used to, but very interesting to sort of see that come about as well. I thought also one of the more interesting things that we saw was actual gameplay that looked pretty darn incredible, if you want to ask me. Like, I think that they did a fantastic job showcasing exactly what the reasons are to buy a PlayStation 5, and I gotta say, it makes me extremely excited about the future of what they're going to be offering. So I thought this was really cool. If you guys didn't see it, I will link some of this in the description below. Again, so the huge difference between the PlayStation 5 and what we've seen with that versus what we've seen, or lack of seen, on the Xbox Series X is the actual gameplay themselves. So now we've actually seen PlayStation 5 real-time video from Godfall, from Devil May Cry 5, Balan Wonderworld, and more, which is fantastic to see. Obviously, Astro's Playroom, was being shown off. So a lot of the influencers actually had some really good, solid hands-on time with the PS5, bringing obviously new information, new images, new videos, all this kind of stuff. Also, there was a little bit of controversy around some of it because some people noticed a mouse cursor in some of the pictures and stuff like that. Basically, I from what I understand, what happened was people are using like OBS and things like that to stream. So sometimes that would be something that comes up when you are streaming with OBS. You could possibly see a mouse cursor and things like that. So yeah, definitely interesting stuff. We've got a pretty solid bunch of gameplay. Again, this was some fantastic stuff. Over 30 minutes long of Godfall, Astro's Playroom, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, and Balan Wonderworld. There's a substantial amount of gameplay actually from all 4 titles, giving us what they're going to look like on the PS5. And I gotta say, the PS5 stuff that we saw looked incredible, looked absolutely amazing, and I gotta say, it's well worth the wait, in my opinion, right? Like, I understand that usually next generation consoles take a little bit of time to find their footing and things like that, and I'm fine with that, but it does look like right away we're going to be seeing a ton of great things to really kind of come out and showcase what this console can do. I'm hoping against hope that Microsoft has something up their sleeve as well that really showcases what they're actually going to be able to do in the future or whatever, because I feel like that's going to be very important. Like, show us a reason why we should get an Xbox Series X or an S. I would just love to know it. So they also confirmed that the DualSense lights can change color similar to the DualShock 4 light bar. In a post showcasing this, they got really up close with this. There's like a purple light, a green, red, and what looks like to be minimalized mode for the lights on the DualSense, with only the bottom part of the bar being colored with small faint blue dots. Could be like a battery saving mode, but it does look pretty cool. Like, you know, what I really enjoy about the DualSense controller is it's basically a kind of a redesign of the DualShock 4, and I like the fact that they did that, because the DualShock 4 was a good controller, but clearly it had issues with like battery life and, you know, some other things, and they changed things around, and they didn't have to reinvent themselves with this, but here they clearly did, and it's something that they're getting universal praise for. Let's just be honest, they are universally praised for all the moves that they made, and I gotta say that's impressive to me anyway. You know, that's something that I find to be super impressive, just from the fact that, you know, we keep seeing stuff like this come out, and all the people that actually get a chance to try these features and things are loving it, right? And that says a ton about what's going on with Sony and Microsoft, right? Like, yeah, people are showcasing the Xbox Series X, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like they're really having fun with it. It seems like they're just playing it because they got it or whatever, you know, and it doesn't seem as genuine as a lot of what we've seen with the PlayStation 5 and the controller and all that kind of stuff. So I do think that there is a huge bit of difference here in what these companies are doing, and just how they're approaching these things, you know. And I think that that's probably the best thing that we can see from these companies. You know, it does sound like they're both doing some fantastic things, and I'm there for it. You know, I want to see exactly that, and I think that's going to be a key selling point going into next generation. So bravo to Microsoft and Sony. Hats off to both of them for being able to get, you know, games out here and new consoles out at such a time like this. I know I've said it before, and you know, it's worth saying again. I just feel like you know, that it's the fact that we are getting anything at this particular time is simply amazing to me. and blows my mind. And I'm extremely happy to see everything that they've both come out with. And even though I'm more excited for the PlayStation 5, I still think it's perfectly fine to be excited for the Xbox and what they're doing as well. I mean, they have a value proposition. Maybe that's something that really appeals to you personally, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I think that's perfectly fine. So anyway, I'm going to link all this stuff. We've got all this information. It's quiet. It's cool. The battery life is much longer. The games look great. Most importantly, Sony seems to be firing on all cylinders right now. I would love to hear what you all think down below in the comments, on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, Xbox Live MOH space Crapgamer, or PSN just Crapgamer. Just very much appreciated. I'm Crapgamer. This has been Crapgamer Reviews with another video. I appreciate everybody that took time out to watch this video. Please take a minute to consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me personally. Hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops as well. That would be amazing. Please stay safe. Take care of each other. Game on, my friends. Game on. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.